Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Commentary's Magic stream on today's Sunday, December 16th, 2018. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big Cheese.
And the heavily disappointed after getting no ultra rares Aracat.
No ultra rares? None whatsoever?
There were 2 pre-release kits, so 10 packs. No
Okay.
ultra rares!
How many Flash Magnuses? Or, I'm sorry, not Flash Magnuses, Flash Sentries.
Only 1.
You still got one.
I did still get 1.
Did it put a little smile on your cold...
It chilled the cockles of my cold heart.
There we go.
I also got a Dark Queen.
Oh, there you go.
Admittedly, I have a lot of those now, but hey.
It's a fun card. You can reanimate it for 1 AT. It's real good.
Well, yes, in constructed, sure. Not in a sealed environment.
Well, clearly, we just need to print a card that lets you do that in core. In limited.
Retroactively printed in the set that's already released. It sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems fun.
Just go
Anyway,
ahead
we are...
fix a couple of other things where I edit, like, I don't know, add more Trixie.
More Trixie, you think?
Yeah, more Trixie, I think.
More Applejack's parents.
No,
More
less Applejack's parents.
What?
What?
Oh, that's right. Hitrox actually got us. Set 11 is tomorrow. Or no, wait. Set 11 was Monday.
Right.
No, Hitrox, you're a week late. All right. Anyway, we are here because we figured that about 3 weeks off was probably too much. Although I think we're still taking 3 weeks off.
Something like that?
Well, we figured that it would be best to have a stream here before the holidays. Happy holidays, everyone, by the way.
Yay.
Yeah.
And with a brand new set out, it gives us a chance to do something that we've only done a couple of times on a live stream before, but it's been a lot of fun every time. And that is live deck building.
But first.
Take it away.
Oh, you're actually going to make me do this. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Awkward silence. Okay, but first, we have had a couple of patrons throw in a couple of decks to be reviewed. And we haven't done this for a while, partially because we haven't had a lot of decks to review. But we figured we might as well take a look at some of these while we're at it, huh?
Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, we have a Patreon. We'll link some information for that at the end of the stream. And one benefit of being a patron is you get to submit deck lists to us for us to review live on stream. Yes, Hithrock, I agree. You should submit your Trixie deck.
Is it literally just all Trixies?
All the time.
It's going to be close to it now.
I don't know. Can you do that? Can you make an all Trixie deck?
It's pretty close. And mark it as a competitive deck.
I don't think there's any level of helping you. Sorry, Hithrock.
Anyway, a big thank you to all of our patrons who are there. And with that, let's go ahead and take a peek at 2 submitted patron decks before we dive into some live deck building.
All right. Let's see here. I have too many tabs open. There we go. So I believe our first one here is called Pegasus Explosion version 2, or at least Railershire's version of it. This is obviously an aggro deck because, you know, blue-yellow seems like great colors.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
It has Rainbow Dash. It has Pirate Pony, and it has Pony Pirate. And
it's got
Rutherford.
Stop Fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is a control deck.
This looks control to me.
I see Nightmare Knight, 1 of Fright. That frightens. No, this is clearly an aggro deck.
Okay. And this is in response to seeing Scootaloo Yellow do well in Continentals and adding some FF cards because yellow, just yellow in this set.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, most of the FF cards are yellow, I think, or at least multicolor.
Yeah. And then there's a couple of other fun toys that Blue Yellow got in here. Both of them, of course, being present.
So let's take a look and see what's going on here. And from just a cursory glance, it's pretty apparent that this is, as the deck name suggests, a Pegasi tribal deck.
Yeah, pretty much. Almost everything in here is Pegasi.
I'm shocked.
Why are
The
there only
deck
2 day
called-
shifts?
She's not a Pegasus.
Why are there not 20 day shifts?
Because you're running Scootaloo, and there's already a ton of movement, is my guess.
You seem to be implying that there's such a thing as enough movement. I don't think that there's such a thing as enough movement in such a deck.
It's possible. So let's break it down here. Much of the core of this deck looks completely fine. You've got the crucial, or many of the crucial Pegasi cards. Cloud Chaser and Flitter are obviously very good. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are, in my opinion, even better in a Pegasus tribal deck. You've got a good amount of entry here. I actually see 10 entry into the off color, which is very nice. Got some resource removal in Valley Trend. Couple of dilemmas. 3 Night Gliders for point acceleration. Pony Pirate, because it synergizes well with Scootaloo's main. Yeah. For the most part, it's a pretty solid build. But I think there's a few things we can do to improve it.
This has 10 yellow entry, right?
It does have 10 yellow entry.
That's a lot.
Seems like enough yellow entry. I like it.
So one thing to look at here is the main, who is of course Scootaloo, who flips on confront to, well, who is a confront to flip main.
Hey, look, lacking lesson plans.
Yeah.
Lacking lesson plans is a great starting problem. It makes it very hard for Skystar to DFO, and Tempest can't block it with a Troublemaker. So that's
However,
great.
I have one concern.
What is your concern?
And that concern's name is Silverstream. Because there's
Yeah.
nothing that Silverstream likes doing more than paying 2 to move over to your problem and grinning at you with that little grin on her face. Because this deck needs 2 characters at minimum at lacking lesson plans in order to confront it. And that's what Silverstream also needs to flip. So you best be planning for that lacking lesson plans to turn into a 6.
I don't think any 2 characters in this deck can flip at lacking lesson plans.
The best thing that can happen here, assuming that there is no Silverstream, is to play a loyal pony into one of your other friends. But there's
Yeah.
only 2 loyal ponies.
Yeah, the flipping here does look a bit rough.
And it's, of course, fine that some cards that can really help confront to flip mains might not be accessible to everyone. For example, Staff. Staff of Sakanis is an excellent, excellent card when your main is going to need to confront to flip, and especially is going to be up at problems. But it can be hard to find.
In terms of Silverstream, yeah, you're almost going to certainly need searching high and low just to deal with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're running a confront to flip main, you should strongly consider what you're going to do in case a particular hippogriff shows up and starts grinning at you. Because she does like to grin at people.
I'd probably sit there and mess with the entry here a little bit. I don't think that 3 Scootaloo Aerobatics fans are necessary. I think 2 of them is probably fine, because you're already going to have a ton of movement provided by your main flipping, so dropping 1 for a 3rd loyal pony seems like a decent choice.
Searching
And
can
I
be... Go for
I
it.
would even like to see the griffin that moves main.
Griselda,
Greta.
Greta, yeah.
Yeah. Greta is an excellent card.
especially if you happen to be running problem with the floor confront wreck.
You mean like lacking lesson plans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play it with 1 blue, which you have. Seems good.
It's also 1 AT cheaper than most other modes of a turn 2 confront to flipping.
Yeah, and it also gets you to confront to Griffinstone. Well, Griffinstone moves something up already, but
it can still be helpful though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does cost a little more, so you do have to weigh that against your opportunity cost there of running, for example, Loyal Pony. But it's something to consider.
There's also the aspect of Fluttershy growing up here, who I understand is a Pegasus and synergizes with all of the Pegasi effects that are here, but is by far the weakest of that cycle. And is going to be very expensive for you to use effectively to flip. I'd probably rather see those 2 Fluttershys just become either 2 Aloes or more likely 2 Flim and Flams. For exactly the same reason that we're talking about Greta as well, it gives you another method of flipping with lacking lesson plans on turn 2.
Indeed.
Apart from that, I think most of the other cards that are here in the deck look okay. The one change I would make is you've got 3 Stop Fightings in here, and I think yellow actually has a much better option than Stop Fighting, especially in Pegasi Tribal.
Yeah. I mean, you do have... Yeah, it is a little bit risky because it does put stuff back into their hand which they can play again, and Frightening is arguably more powerful than that in a lot of cases, especially if we're playing with something like, Harsh Judge. But it's an option.
Mm-hmm. And that would be unsatisfactory work that we're talking about.
Yeah. Because I guess there is an awful lot of Frighten otherwise.
3 Rutherfords, 3 Pony Pirates,
So one
2
thing that I'm not sure about looking at the problem deck here is these 2 problems, too many Fluttershys and swaying the Sea Ponies.
Agreed.
Too many Fluttershys is 8 for you to confront in 1 bonus. Now it does move something else to another problem, but that's a really tough one to hit. Especially with yellow being your secondary, you need 4 of it. Now, you do have a lot of yellow, but maybe something different there. Now, I do like the 3 bonus on Swaying Sea Ponies, but it is kind of hard to confront.
Yeah. To my comment earlier, if I had to replace a problem with something to address Silverstream, I'd probably consider Swaying the Sea Ponies.
Mm-hmm. I'd also likely swap too many Fluttershys for Distracted Lead Actress.
That seems a good point.
It's an easy-to-confront yellow problem that is actually somewhat surprisingly difficult for your opponent to be able to reliably DFO at, unless they have all their power concentrated onto a single character. And your main method of point gain in this deck is going to be through winning face-offs, presumably with Night Glider. So the easier it is for you to create multi-problem face-off situations, the more likely it is you'll be able to take advantage of Night Glider's abilities. I'd aim for low confront requirements, just like Aura's saying, include a couple other options for starting problems to deal with Silverstream, and try to keep your confront recs low.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think Concerning Cutie Mark is actually an acceptable substitute when Silverstream is around. You really do need that 2 rec, or the 2 confront. Because she just sits there and adds 2 to everything.
The last thing I would mention is really something you just have to read the meta on, and that is there is a very, very good Pegasi tribal card that is not in here, and if you are in a removal-heavy meta, I would certainly consider running it, and that is... Go on.
Good point.
I forget the name.
Fluttershy Acceptable Business Attire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nothing's quite as fun as sitting there and being like, I want to do a Night Glider powered DFO, and then your opponent's like, have a belly flop, and then you're sad because your Night Glider's gone. Or if you have Fluttershy around, you can be like, I'm just going to go ahead and Frighten that instead, and then you'll have to deal with it next turn. So if you want any of my stuff gone, you're going to have to burn 2 pieces of removal.
Yeah, Scootaloo can actually take advantage of the persistent from acceptable business attire pretty well, because you already get a lot of AT saving in being able to move characters to problems at the end of turn for free. So that 2 AT that you have to pay to unfrighten is actually not that bad. Plus, look at all the power boosting that you've got with Chillax and Philly Racers. And a True Friend. So overall, pretty solid deck with decent entry and resource removal, which is good. Maybe swap a couple cards to make confronting to flip easier, and trim the problem deck down to make it a little easier to confront, but otherwise, not bad.
Mm-hmm. We'll give chat a moment to react here, because this delay,
Mm-hmm.
it is the painful. The Fluttershy growing up is entry. But the
It is entry.
Yes.
If you want to keep your yellow entry high, Railer, I'd run Flim and Flam instead of Aloe in place of the Fluttershy.
Yeah. I suppose that, yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's fair. Had to look at the Fire of Friendship there for a moment, but then like, wait, Tempest is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's an argument. If you have a Tempest heavy meta, then maybe 3 of that.
Yeah.
And get rid of one of the... Or maybe just get rid of the Fluttershies entirely and add yourself an extra something else somewhere. Like a Loyal Pony, maybe.
Ooh, Loyal Pony.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flexibility here, little onesie, twosie things.
Yeah, little tweaks you can make for the meta. I've been watching too much Bob Ross. Happy trees. Little trees over there, being happy.
Yep, Flim and Flam can indeed help turn 2 confront. That's why I recommend them.
Yep.
Okay.
Next one?
Go for it. Break this one down for us, Ara. Or Cheese, whoever.
Let's see what we've got here. Alright,
Cards.
well, I'm already concerned because I see a honk.
Oh, I think Cheese might need to do this one. It's got his pre-release All-Star in it.
Oh, but this is basically the horrible monstrosity I built. Don't you remember this?
Yes.
Although this looks like it's even more infuriating. Because it's got Somnambulas, and it's got Crubber Baked Bads, and Fume. Oh, this is going to be awful to play against. I highly appreciate this. I really do. Because this is the kind of control deck that aggro just is afraid of. This is why, Railershy, we're saying you should probably think about running Searching High and Low, because this kind of deck is yikes. I think is all I'm going to say.
Are you sure it's not an aggro deck? It has Berry Punch.
I'm pretty sure this one's a control deck. This is from Dorada. And this is semi-competitive. And I think I highly agree with this. This is... Having messed with something like this, I don't really think that these are capable of going tier 1, but this is a monster of a deck. It really is. So it says, with Friends Forever released, we've got Breakdown and Fume and Baked Bads, which just sounds like a lovely little way to make opposing friends go away.
Yeah, no interdimensional portals in here for Fume, but that's a different deck.
And then with some of the cards
That's
in
terrible.
here, we've got an awful lot of draw power as well, so you should never be lacking for something to play. or for that matter, finding the things that annoy your opponent.
Yeah. Now there is one fundamental issue that stands out to me here, and you tell me if you guys see it as well.
Is it
Quickly
entry?
counts the resource removal.
No, it's entry.
Is it 5?
Yeah, what we're looking at here is 5 entry, all of which is in the form of resources for a main that really kind of wants to have another character or multiple characters early so she can help flip. And you look at the problem, or you look at the list of things here. You've got like Rockhoof and Applebloom Remarkable and Haven Bay, and you're thinking, well, hey, this is perfect. I'm starting with Trading Traditions, right?
Traditions, except there's no Trading Traditions.
Right.
This really would like Trading Traditions. Just saying.
Yeah.
If you swap out the starting problem for Trading Traditions, then I think you've got a lot of options going. However, at that point, you're giving your opponent a very easy method of confronting.
I believe that Trading Traditions is categorically incorrect when used with Silverstream. The point of Silverstream is to sit there and go, I hope you weren't planning on confronting. And a Trading Traditions is basically completely counter to that goal. Yeah. I do not believe it is correct to open with probably anything other than a second chance.
You could do Royal Breakfast.
I don't really like that extra card draw, because Silverstream really would like to be confronting and getting points, and that is not exactly easy to confront. I really do think a second chance is the right answer. I really do. Because it's reasonably easy to confront. And if you go second, you get another action token. And if you can't find something bad to do with an action token in this deck, I don't know what to tell you.
There's a couple cards in here that I'd probably consider changing as well. The 2 skipping class are really overkill. Silverstream is going to have her hand full almost every single turn in this game. You've got 2 Sunambulas, you've got 3 Haven Base, 3 Berry Punches. Not to count Silverstream's ability herself.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say you're almost never getting value out of skipping class. At best, you're swapping your hand for another one. You're not actually filling up beyond what you're already at.
Yeah. And with this much, if you're going to have that much card draw, you run a very legitimate risk of running out of cards in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
I think those might be a bit excessive. Now, if you want to take this into Harmony and add a juggling routine, well, that's a completely different can of worms. So, let's not go there, because that just sounds scary. But, yeah, I'm not real fond of the skipping classes, either.
Now, with all that being said, there is another option here if you want to leave the cards in deck as is right now. Maybe still drop the skipping classes, and that is, you could easily swap the main to Skystar here and run Trading Traditions as a starting problem.
Maybe?
It's got a lot of the same tools that Skystar Orange decks used in Continentals this year.
I mean, it would certainly work, although I don't know if that breaks the spirit of the deck, maybe?
It's possible. I just see a lot of need for really revising the entry plan here if you're going to go with Silverstream.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I really don't think that there... I mean, the one thing I could see here, maybe, is saying that that's fine, we're just going to draw so much that we end up discarding a fire to hand limit and then putting that into play. Like, I could see that, but that seems like kind of a strange option. I don't know.
No,
Maybe it's new tech.
This has no point acceleration, right?
no, there's no point acceleration in this deck.
Yeah, that's concerning.
If you
Well-
really want to keep 2 events in the deck that are going to let you draw cards, I mean, you're in the colors of Party Hard, and I see 2 backup dancers here and a lot of 1-drops.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Anyone who had the chance to play against any of the pink-orange control decks at Gen Con know that Party Hard is unfair.
Yeah?
Problem deck mostly looks fine. I think the one thing I'd end up changing would be the 1 copy of Call of the Cutie. I think there's better choices than that.
I don't know. I might. Well, with the entry thing, I might think about trying to turn this away from orange a little bit. I don't really like all the orange problems in here, because if you get to one of those and you don't have the entry for whatever reason, you're going to be a sad hippogriff.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, interesting ideas. There's a lot of cards that have already proven themselves to be successful, and some that I could see working in here well.
This is going to have so much fun. With Sonambula's blindfold being like, you don't get the meticulous. Judge.
Oh, are you playing Unicorn Tribal? Oh.
Oh, that's a darn shame you don't get to look at any of the things in your anywhere.
And all your exhausting stuff gets destroyed, and this is terrible.
I've got Desert Road, so all your ETB stuff doesn't work, and you can't bring back events out of your discard pile, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems good.
It's pretty bad.
That does seem kind of pretty bad.
Speaking of pretty bad, I have no idea what we're building. So let's ask chat.
Chat, what are
Yeah,
we
what
building?
are we building?
Sequestria
Chat.
Block Popper, obviously.
Please, no.
Please, yes.
It's gonna be core.
Poppy combo?
No. It's never Poppy combo.
O'clock.
I think it's always Poppy combo.
The Werefrog says Ocellus main, Colorado Contraption says Tricolor Aggro. Hithrock says something with Trixie. Godo says a bridge. A bridge from below. Ocellus main with Trixie in it. Please no.
Unicorn aggro. Ooh,
I don't believe in it, Hithrock.
Unicorn aggro?
I do not believe it exists.
You don't believe in unicorn aggro?
I don't believe in Unicorn Aggro functioning. Because I've seen several attempts at it. And I think that
And you're
overall,
you're
there's a lot of...
unconvinced?
Well, there's a lot of power you can get with it, which is great. But you know what you don't have in purple and white?
Movement?
What?
Point acceleration for an aggro deck.
I was about to say, hold on there, son. White has a lot of point acceleration.
Heart of the cards. Ocellus main with 3 guidance counselors and Trixie hat trick. Why are we doing this? Okay, I do hear a lot of calling for Ocellus main. Do we want to try and build something with Ocellus?
Sure.
Alright. Let's try something with Ocellus.
You can see us all complaining about FF cards. That was the wrong button. I'm a smart pony.
Alright.
Okay, so chat, I'm going to apologize here if Grandpa's sounds like he's talking to thin air because I will probably forget to click on the right window in order to make it so that you can hear me as I'm messing around with Ponyhead.
And we won't be able to tell because we'll hear it over chat. We'll over mumble.
Yeah.
Yep. So if Aura suddenly vanishes, he's still here. He's saying stuff. Probably.
Probably. And this is
All right.
where it would be really funny to set up a whisper to Grandpa's only, so he is actually talking to thin air.
Oh, why would you do this?
Because it'd be funny.
It would be fun. So we're going to be focusing on core right now. And tonight we're going to be looking at decks that we haven't already explored in our own deck building adventures, shall we say. Adventures in deck building, you might even call them. Hi, Cursed. And for Ocellus, at least for me, so I can, kind of hang back if we decide to go with this color combination, I do not want to build Ocellus yellow.
That's what I wanted to build, though. It's the obvious thing to build, though, but that's where all the other changelings were.
Yes.
Right.
So we're not building Changeling Tribal, is what you're saying.
Right. Now, for the record, I think there is a very solid Ocellus yellow deck. And I also think that it's one of those decks that kind of builds itself. You kind of look at it and you're like, yes, I'm going to run 3 Timbles and 3 Herd of Adoring Fans and some Thoraxes and some Pharynxes and some Rarity
Obligatory
Generous
hissing.
Ponies. Yeah, it's just like, okay. Ta-da.
And some day shifts and just be like, look, I built the thing. Like it wanted to be built.
Day shifts, defend the hives, sticks, yeah, the whole thing. So that's too easy. So we're going to try something harder. We're going to try a different color combination.
Farm.
Mono white Ocellus farm, I think we tried that like 5 times.
It worked. Kind of.
It's fine. Do we want to go monocolor, or do we want to just try another color combination?
Well, for aggro, it would be. There's also Ocellus blue.
I haven't really looked at that since she changed.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Ocellus blue.
Sure. Sure, we can do Ocellus blue.
Okay, so I got an Ocellus.
And then you just add all the blue cards, and then you have a deck.
Yeah, it's perfect. So the first thing we need to look at is making sure we can get our main online. I also don't see an Ocellus there, Aura. All right, there we go. Okay.
Let's see what first here. Well, let's start with entry. So how much entry do we want?
All of it.
Are we looking at entry, or are we looking at allowing her to flip?
Let's start with flipping.
Okay. So Ocellus is one of those mains that I think really does benefit from staff.
I would just go ahead and add a lacking lesson plans right now.
Sure. Why don't...
Because starting problems. I hear they're good.
Sure. So Animoy says to consider Skybeak, but one of the tricky things is that many Confront to Flip mains are not going to be running Trading Traditions, and that means that those multicolor friends are a bit more of a liability.
Well, they're not things that get instantly put into the deck merely because you need a confront to flip, and thus Trading Traditions is not going to be generally your starting.
Right.
So I heard
Okay.
something about sticks.
Yeah, I like sticks.
We got you blue, but we didn't get you yellow.
Aw.
Okay, we got some sticks. We got some starting problems. What else we need? We need some aloes, maybe.
Let's get some aloes in there. Let's get some generous ponies in there. Hitok makes the comment that AK Yearling probably goes in a deck like this, and I agree completely. AK Yearling is everything Ocellus Blue wants. It's a bunch of power on a friend whose power is naturally higher than its cost, and it's very cheap.
So I'm hearing some yearlings.
Yeah, I think AK Yearling is a good choice.
Oh my god, why do I have to keep fighting them?
Goodo, it's not that yellow is too obvious as a secondary color, it's that we've already built a deck with that list, and we want to build things live.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun if we were just being like, hey, here's this list we've already built. But sticks, unfortunately, it's a confront to flip main. You kind of need those. They really do help.
Yep.
We could build it without it, but I don't know, you want to go hard mode and build it without the sticks?
No,
No,
No.
because then we'd look at it and be like, this needs sticks.
It needs,
basically. All right, chuck some AK Yearlings in there. Anemoy going full Mad Lad and saying Princess Platinum was showy.
Sadly, she doesn't really help activate Ocellus,
Who?
Princess Platinum.
No, she does not.
So,
probably
Okay.
not. So we've got...
I mean, also it's a terrible card. But...
Shall we get some entry here?
Yeah, I think it's about entry time, yes.
We'll come back to Indifferent Decorator. She may still make it in there.
Okay, so we're probably good on white entry. We have those two things, of course. We're probably good on white entry, so we should be able to get her flipped.
Hisrock going straight for the big bombs and saying drop Thunderlane.
Okay, but the question here is, does Thunderlane pass the Flash Magnus test?
It's the other way around.
Pretty sure it's not at this point.
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think Flash is going to be that disruptive. So Loyal Pony is an obvious inclusion here. Down further. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I get for...
So there's this little search box.
Yeah, no, it's too much trouble.
Are you clicking on the right window, by the way?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mostly.
Okay. Oh, let's see. What else can we do here? We can do tank. We can also do Flim and Flam.
I think we want Flim and Flam.
Flim and Flam are very nice in a two-color confront to flip deck, especially with Ocellus.
Yeah, it activates her.
It can allow her to confront Lacking Lesson Plans turn 2, and it can function as entry. And it turns her first ability active.
So you want Flim and Flam?
Yeah.
I was gonna throw a vote in here for Gavin, because that competitive will activate a Ocellus during a face-off.
That's true. Is it worth it more to draw cards, or have her ability active?
But only during a face-off, so that's kind of questionable. But I think we need a Flim and Flam regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Three? Or 2?
3.
Okay. I'm looking at those a little funny, but all right.
Flim and Flam is a card that was built for Ocellus 2-color decks. I don't think there's a better home for them. Now the question is, do we want to go with resource-based entry, or do we want to go with more friend-based entry like Tank? Or do we want to just go full Mad Lad and banish Cloud Chasers from our hand?
Oh, this is going to be fun. The stream may crash.
Oops.
Why would it crash?
Checking.
Looks like it did crash.
Oh, did it actually crash?
Well,
it's not
No,
moving.
okay, the browser thing just crashed. All right. Okay, let me fight with this a bit.
while you're fighting, you know what card we don't have yet that we're
What
going to
card?
add no matter what?
Plushy Dash?
Maybe, but I forget its actual name. Reliving History?
Oh, yes. Reliving History is a very good card with Ocellus. Colorado says Night Glider overpowering. Godot says Zap.
I think I like Night Glider.
You think you like Night Glider over Day Shift? Or not Day Shift, Daybreaker?
MVP? Or
Yeah.
WD? Why not both? I don't think there's enough room for that. But
I agree. I think I like the Night Glider better.
like, yeah, you do have a lot of power in this deck. Because you are basing things on having higher power than cost.
Yeah, Hithrock brings up a good point that Follow My Lead can be very good as well. There's actually a lot of cards that can boost power here, and it's really just a matter of having the card slots for it.
Yeah.
It would be very easy to build a 60-card Ocellus blue list and look at all those cards and be like, yeah, I like all of these.
I can't cut any. And then you're like, you kind of need to.
Okay, there, I fixed it.
Yeah, it's working.
All right. Still waiting for it to catch up. Nope. Wait.
Well, he's just rebuilding it.
Oh, I know. He still hasn't added the AK Yearlings, though. There we go.
Now, I really should have voted for white-pink just so I could be like, we need to add our queen.
No.
I mean,
Yes.
we still could.
We obviously need to add our queen.
What else did we add for blue entry? We were running the Loyal Ponies, and we were running the Flim and Flams.
We hadn't actually decided yet.
Yeah, we've got
Tank versus resources versus tank versus little Griffy boy.
Well, this is an aggro deck, so I think card draw is going to be more relevant here because you're always going to run out of gas.
Yeah, but it's not really card draw. It's draw
Card looting.
discard.
It's something. You're gonna tell me that you wanted everything in your hand always, and never don't want to discard some random card?
I might actually rather have Singing Barrel here. But I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys.
We're going to take a corrective action here and fix something. Okay.
Yay!
Cool.
But you want Singing Barrel?
Well, the Werefog
Hi.
says Fire of Friendship. Do you want to run that instead?
It all depends on what the rest of our cards look like.
Well, let's put some fires in there just in
If
case of Tempest.
well, sure, but if everything is a 3 rack, then it's not really a good choice.
Well, it's not currently, so
There's also the consideration that if we don't have blue and we play a Fire of Friendship so we can play a Loyal Pony, that's much worse than playing a Singing Barrel to play Loyal Pony.
Yeah.
Godot, we're already at 6 entry in blue. It's unlikely that we're going to end up running both Tank and Fire of Friendship.
We're at
know, though, 'cause that
9
does-
entry of blue now.
yeah, 9 currently.
Well, let's chuck some Night Gliders in there.
Because of course.
Because, of course.
You still need to add the reliving history.
Oh, yeah.
I may have been doing that while you were, repairing things. Shush. Oh, yes, of course.
There's a search bar.
There is a search bar. That's no fun. Gotta get your exercise for the day. Scrolling.
Now, as much as I hate to admit it here, and I really hate to admit it, I think we need to add 2 Petite Sneeze in here.
Why?
Because Trashed and Miss Maine's Flower are not always going to be the best choices for resource removal. Sometimes you absolutely positively have to get rid of something, and the fact that it can also hit friends and troublemakers means that we've got a little more versatility.
Doesn't it end up costing you like 5?
That's a really steep cost.
Okay. When you guys find yourselves in situations where the opponent has a Big Mac in play and you want to play a Trashed on their desert road, you tell me how well that works out.
So we the Big Mac and then trash the desert road.
Oh, so now we're running because a 3 cost just banish a friend is clearly totally fine, but 3 cost and we also have to lose a couple cards is terrible, especially if some of them are going to be follow my lead.
It is terrible.
Yep.
So we're follow my leads, I hear.
I think a pair of follow my lead is probably a good choice. Hithrox says, would you run It's Gonna Work in a deck like this? In this deck, no. In Ocella's Farm, yes. It can, but let's look at how difficult our problems are actually going to end up being, because I'll guarantee you we're going to run the new 2/2 blue and the new 2/2 white. And we'll run some dilemmas. No, I know.
Oh, yeah, I clicked on the wrong window there. The the minus power on It's Gonna Work is interesting. But dilemmas, that works with those. And especially if we're going to be playing tricks with Agile or reliving history, that might make it easier to pull something weird. Just saying. So maybe something, but I suspect that we're going to be lacking for card slots.
Yeah, we're already only at 14 cards remaining, and we're only at 2 resource removal. I think the vote is a fine consideration, but I don't know if it needs to go in here. I'm also not sure how much I like 3 reliving histories.
I think that depends a lot on how much weird aggro shenanigans you're going to get up to.
Well, even still, think of how much it costs if you've just started a DFO. You're going to have to move Ocellus up to one problem for 2 AT, and then move her over to another one for 2 AT, and then you're going to have a fifth AT to be able to play Reliving History.
Now, it's definitely an argument to drop them to 2, but it might also be an argument to drop it to 0. Although I suppose it is a good offensive tool as well, so sure. Get rid of one of those. Hey, look, we just got a card slot back.
Woo! Card slots.
No.
I think that at least a pair of plushie dashes are great. And probably a pair of trashed.
Okay, starting to shape up here.
Animoy asks, any epics? While there are some epics that could end up working well, I think we're really going to be constrained on card slots here. Same reason Colorado Contraption says Flash Magnus' Shield. It's a very powerful card, but only in one situation. Werefrog, T-Rex Reign of Terror. I think that's an excellent choice.
Dilemmas?
Yeah.
Someone said dilemmas.
I heard dilemmas.
Yeah, we should probably have some drops.
But we've got 4 different dilemmas to choose from. And wait, what does that one do? I don't even remember what that one does. But we've got at least 3 good dilemmas to choose from. Possibly more.
Let's throw some trots in there.
I'm just going to automatically 3 of that because why not?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Animoy says cybernetic limb actuator, and I really like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with 3 for now.
Mm-hmm.
Why not washouts? So we'd have to look at... Oh, I've actually got it right here. We'd have to look at the power histogram here, because washouts needs 6, and you'd like to confront that ideally on 2 action tokens, which I think is going to be somewhat difficult in this deck, given the large bunch of 2 power things. Now, granted, there are a lot of things that do plus power, but I'm feeling kind of marginal about that. I think it would be better to have things with 5s or 4s on their confront Rex.
Do we want to run... Okay, so here's an interesting thing to look at, right? How many ways do we have to deal with troublemakers right now? If we absolutely had to, we've got 2 Petite Sneezes and 3 T-Rex Reigns of Terror. But Ocellus can also be big.
Night Gliders can be big.
Night Gliders can be big. And we've got 2 First Mate Mullets, as well as 3 Cybernetic Limb Actuators.
So there's a fair amount of just straight beatdown power is what I'm here thinking.
People are saying Buckball. I think 2 Buckballs is probably fine. I think more likely the dilemmas are going to be used here when the opponent has a high confront requirement problem versus us needing to use it to get around troublemakers. Because Ocellus is just kind of going to look at them, and then the troublemakers are going to be very sad.
Well, don't forget the opponent's playing the game too.
No, they're not.
They sometimes are kind of marginal about you messing with their troublemakers. You know?
It's fair. Now, how many friends here do we have that will have power greater than their cost, or can have power greater than their cost? And the answer is all of them, because we have 2 Follow My Leads. which is nice.
Let's put a rock hoof shovel in.
Run Singing Barrel for the entry and add a couple rock hoop shovels.
Yeah.
That's pretty hilarious.
That is what?
Well, look, if you need friends with power greater than their cost, what better way to do that than by sticking +1 power counters on them?
I mean, you're very wrong. I don't know.
No,
How much interaction do we have here? What do we have that's immediate that messes up opposing stuff?
Yeah.
reliving history.
I want some Rutherfords.
You want a 4-rec, 2
yeah,
power
4
blue?
rec. Not liking the 4 rec.
It's no bueno.
Kind of like fine.
That doesn't like. We should look at the other options, but
If you really want to mess with stuff, and if we want even more TM busting, we'd include a couple copies of Tough Questions. We're in the colors for that. Nocellus is going to be huge.
what does Tough Questions do?
Start a face-off involving one of your characters
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and a friend or troublemaker.
Oh, I know.
I know. Space. I'm gonna go with space.
Yeah, I'm gonna go space. I'll look at the sun. I'll look at Daybreaker. I don't know. Only 3 slots left, though. Some Daybreakers and Tough Questions at the same time? Probably
There's only
not.
3 slots.
There are only 3 slots. We've got to start cutting stuff out eventually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to... Actually, let's look at our Rex here. Okay, so we've got a handful of things at 3 blue, a bunch of stuff at 1 and 2, and then a handful of zeros.
We're keeping our cost as low as possible, which I do like. Oh, you know what would actually not be a bad decision here? Some wing leaders might not be bad.
Oh, because those will make tokens.
Uh-huh.
No, that does actually help quite a bit with the dilemmas, because that's pretty good value for 3 tokens.
All right. Let's look at the problems, and then we can look at the whole thing as a whole. The whole deck overall, I mean. Surprise takeoff as a 2 of, because of course. Fashion blindness as a 2 of, because of course. Lacking lesson plans as a 2 of, because of course.
Because troublemakers are awful.
Because troublemakers are awful. I think to Griffinstone here is actually a very good decision, because it's one of the things that can enable the reliving history trick to work much easier.
Seems good.
1 problem left.
I'll let you guys pick it.
We're in core, right?
We're in core.
Fire when ready.
It's obviously fire when ready.
I mean, you might put it in if you could.
I know. How you feeling about Pearl Heist?
Pearl Heist is spicy.
It's 2 bonus.
I like it. Let's do it.
That's some spice here. All right, let's see what we got.
Animoy says the blue-white problem. Unfortunately, the blue-white problem has very specific confront requirements. And problems that have a tendency to do that are not great. It also has very specific confront requirements for us, very low confront requirements for the opponent, and 0 bonus. It's almost nothing that we want in this deck.
No.
Yeah.
I do not like any part of that problem, aside from the fact that there's a silhouette of our queen on it. Like, that's the only thing I like about that problem, is the fact that it's technically a picture of our queen.
It's actually really good art. It's a shame it's on that problem. All right, let's take a look at the full deck. Are we in deck overview here?
No, because the way I'm doing this, I can't just press F5.
No?
We will be shortly, I assume.
Actually, we should really throw this thing into the deck review thing so we can actually see what's going on here.
Is that the CSS?
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 color entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ways to flip on turn 2.
There we go. Now we can see what we're doing.
There you go. Very nice. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. "18 friends with high power, plus the cybernetic limb actuators, plus the 2 follow my leads. Little bit of removal, decent amount of dilemmas. Problem deck looks good.
Requisite amount of resource removal.
Yeah. Decent amount of point acceleration. Problem deck looks absolutely gross.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I think there were some good suggestions from chat. I think the Follow My Lead was a good suggestion. Reliving History, very good. Buckball. Cybernetic Limb Actuator was the all-star suggestion here.
Ship it.
Nicely done. Let's go ahead and share this with chat.
What, you mean like I did before you finished saying that?
Yes, just like you did before I finished saying that.
So, yeah, you built a blue-white monstrosity that has a tiny trader at the home.
Seems nice. Oh, right, and AK Yearling can turn everything on as well. Well, can get the Ocellus ability active, rather, by making any of your characters have larger power, which is very nice.
Which is irrelevant because Yearling herself is sufficient to activate Ocellus.
Oh, that's true. What would we call it?
I don't know. Ocellus is a traitor.
You call every deck with Ocellus is a traitor. I don't know, chat, throw out some suggestions for this. Also, what do you think, guys? Do we have other obligations this evening, or could we squeeze one more out?
I don't know. You actually got something you want to build? What you thinking?
I don't know.
Poppy combo.
No. I kind of want to see what Burb looks like in FF.
Yeah, but that's a very similar deck to what we already have. Probably. Colorado wants to see something with purple.
I'm hearing a Trixie main. Let's go.
Oh god, here we go. Alright, Hithrock. Trixie Man it is.
Is there only one Trixie main?
Yes.
What does she do?
When you play an event, you can pay 2 to turn her over, and when an opponent starts a face-off, you may pay 1 less to play events until the end of that face-off.
Is she core?
She is core.
High magic? Okay.
Oh no, what have I done?
What have you done?
This thing really needs a better way to interact with the browser. This is not cool.
That's why I always just do a window cap. Oh, if I have to actually interact with it, I just use a window capture.
And okay, now it works again. Kind of. She's not as bad as... Alright, well, let's see what we got here.
So Trixie, at the very least, is interesting. Because we don't necessarily have to run lacking lesson plans.
I'm hearing trading traditions because, of course.
I mean, maybe? But there's also the ability to just run super oppressive...
Have we picked the secondary color?
No.
Do we need a secondary color?
Maybe not.
So obviously it has to be control.
Yes.
And you want your opponent to cause face-offs? Kind of. So is it troublemaker control?
I think the first thing we should probably be looking at is what purple events do we have? And of these purple events, what are we not going to feel absolutely terrible playing?
Yeah.
Hithrock says sweep, sweep, sweep. I said not feel terrible playing.
I think we're required to run Bookish backup just so that we have an option for flipping her with nothing else. Because otherwise we're going to need to add an awful lot of entry.
Well, Trixie and Starlight are clearly best ship, so we're going to need 3 Starlights in there.
You want to clarify which Starlight?
I see.
I think it needs more Trixie, so we should obviously add more Trixie.
Hey, that card, that one.
What, the Flash?
The
What, for all the Alicorns we're going to be running?
yes.
How many Alicorns are you planning on running?
None. Don't actually add Flash.
Okay, you know what? Hold on.
You know what? Hold on.
We need to do this. We need to do this proper.
We might end up with some Twilights.
Are we?
I need you to type Trixie in the search bar there.
Will that work? Yeah, it'll work.
So we'll just go ahead and add one of all those.
All right, let's take a look here.
How terrible are all these?
Smoke and Mirrors is fine.
Hearing a yes.
When this card enters play, you may move an opposing character at this card's problem.
No,
It's so terrible.
center stage is cool. What do you want about? It's got showy.
Eccentric is good.
Yeah, let's look at Trixie Lulumoon's sleight of hand.
Wait,
Yeah,
it has
but-
her full name. Is that the only card with her full name?
Yes.
When you play an event, one of your characters at Troublemakers gets +2 power until the end of the turn. Sure, we'll throw some Trixies in there.
That's really weird. That's the only Trixie with her full name on it.
Yep. It was from the movie. They had
There's
new weird
a
things.
dumb reason for that, but yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm hearing highest level unicorns too. Yep, obviously.
Yes,
Obviously.
obviously.
Highest level unicorns.
I go ahead and add some rock farmers too.
Hithrock's comment, I like where this is going. No, don't add the rock farmers yet.
We can remove them later.
All
Yet.
right, fine.
Don't add them yet. I'm not hearing a no.
Put in the trouble with Trixie.
I mean, it's actually good. So.
Yeah.
This started out as a meme deck. Just look at the main. The card is terrible.
I mean, we're kind of building a weird troublemaker defense thing here, so I'm not like the center stage is actually not terrible in that application.
It's not the worst, but it's also not the best. I think we can do better than that.
What, you want to run spikes?
I think the deck needs more Starlight. Can we run some Apprentice Sorcerers in here?
Yeah, I suppose. You want to put some white in here so we can run the Alicorn Amulet too?
Well, if we put white in there, then we can also run Starlight Great and Powerful Assistant.
That does let us get events back. That's kind of neat. Sure, sounds good. Let's go. Okay, let's go find our white entry. Also, no, this isn't just a convoluted excuse to run the Redeem Trixie.
Are you sure about that? Cleaning up is an option. I actually kind of like Makeover here if we're looking for events to run that can also get us white entry. Because that's 3 AT to get our main flipped as well. I will almost never run Makeover, but I think in Trixie that's actually a fine deck.
Card.
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 Card. Card. Mine.
Mine.
Fun.
Are we actually going white here, or are we just barely splashing white?
Are we actually going white? What else were we gonna throw in here if we were running white?
We need some control.
We need more events, is what we need.
Magicite, gotcha.
Sure. Magicite and portals.
And napcakes?
Napcakes.
We obviously need more things that say immediate on them.
Yep, napcakes. We're gonna need some, let's throw in another 2 Starlight Glimmer Magic Instructors. And let's drop Trixie Hat Trick down to 2. Because that card is actually not spectacular, so 3 of.
But you obviously need a 3 of. We need more.
Alright, what is chat saying? Animoy says school shut down. Do you see how many friends are here? Ithra Trixie, not spectacular. Werefrog says reliving history for a white event. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's an immediate. Sounds good.
I think the bookish backups are also a good decision.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Starlight Troublemakers. We should definitely run those. I don't think we can actually run white.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, and I think we've got to drop the. I think we've got to drop the Starlight Great and Powerful Assistance, and we've got to drop the reliving histories and the makeovers, because we just need card slots
To do what?
to add more troublemakers.
Good job.
Oh, okay. We're gonna run enforced equality, right? And then we'll move Trixie to enforced equality to get 2 purple wreck.
So that we can play Frozen Magicite?
Yes.
Sure. Sounds great.
This is terrible. Should we run the other Starlight Troublemaker then?
I'd rather run 3 Chrono Triggers and 3 Exposed Inequalities.
Alright, sounds good.
I also don't see nearly enough resource removal, so let's add some Hyper Beams.
Hey, Cheese, why is this card here? Why? I want to run 3 of these.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to run 3 of these.
There. It's banned in both Harmony and Core, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Fix Ponyhead Cheese. Everyone yell at Cheese to fix Ponyhead.
R has to fix it.
I do have to fix it right now, for reasons. Okay, so you got that. 5 card slots. We need more things that say immediate on them.
Sure, run 2 magical misfires. And then, sure, we'll run a school shutdown as well. Who cares? It'll be great.
We're going full burn the world.
If anyone is going to shut down the school, it's going to be Twilight, or it's going to be Starlight and Trixie. Okay, we have 2 card slots left. And how many ways can we flip Trixie?
A few?
I don't believe that is a consideration right now. We seem to have...
Actually, we have a fair number, because the magic instructors... No, not the magic instructors. The guidance counselors and the apprentice sorcerers all get us wreck. And bookish backup can also be played as well.
What? This actually isn't terrible. Somehow.
The Werefrog says Star Swirl Research, and I think Star Swirl Research is a fine inclusion because we also have Trixie Smoke and Mirrors.
I'm going to assume we're going to 3-of that.
Huh?
We're 3-having that.
I think just 2.
Okay,
Because
so...
otherwise we're at 46 cards.
Oh, dang it. We need some problems.
Entrance exam? Entrance exam, hysterical recreation.
Recreation?
Recreation.
Recreation.
They are recreating the scene.
No, this makes sense. So I don't think we have much Meticulous, so Spell Showdown doesn't really make sense.
Well, how many events do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm counting 20 events with the school shutdown in there.
You think you want to just wing it and hope for the best?
Absolutely. Also, that card has Starlight on it.
It does have Starlight on it. Okay, so by that metric, we're going to run Cult of Personality.
No. By that metric, we're going to run New Antique Store.
No,
That
we're
seems
running.
terrible.
We're running Royal Breakfast.
Okay. We can run Royal Breakfast, that's fine.
Because it's got Starlight on it, we need a starting problem.
Sure.
Or we could go with a second chance. That would probably be the sane option here.
One of each.
Hooray, we've made a valid deck. This is terrible. What did we just make here? What is this thing?
Starlight and Trixie's Equestrian Magic Tour something. I don't know. Hithrock, name it.
We need the event. Where is it?
The event? You mean the resource? No, that's the white one there.
It means the 3-color event that we're never going to be able to play.
Oh, we're friendship bound?
It flips for 6. We'll add 1 copy.
We cannot add 1 copy.
To make a 46
deck.
deck.
Yes.
Wait, are you being serious?
No. Alright, hit it. Let's see it. Let's see it deck review style. I can't believe we just did this. Hithrock, this is your 1. Everybody gets 1. This is the 1 Trixie deck. Never again.
Let's see it.
What is this? It's very purple. It's like extremely purple. Oh. I'm not okay with these handful of cards that appear to have Twilight on them. And not.
It's a lot of Twilight.
Hithrock says he's running this next Coco. I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think Anna might call it there. This is just working title.
Why does this have exposed inequality?
Because it's a Starlight and it's a troublemaker. Which means our opponent has to work to start face-offs.
Yes.
Oh, he wants to do the Twilight deck. Alright, fine.
And that'll about wrap it up for this evening for us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This is kind of funny because, like, it could work.
Ish.
If we added another school shutdown, it could work.
Ish.
Ugh. Never again. Never again. Anyway, that will wrap up our live stream on deck building for today. We'll be back after the holidays and around on various online groups and platforms to share deck lists if you ever need them. We'd like to give a big shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. And if you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy the madness that is Sim, or Trixie,
The madness.
the madness, please consider donating. Doing so enables us to continue making high-quality content like this.
High quality content.
If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way...
Did you manage to say that with a straight face?
No, I did not. Or if you're just interested in hearing about what we're working on for the future, there are many ways you can stay in contact. We have our Patreon, as mentioned previously, but you can also reach us through Facebook, Twitter, and email, and patrons at or above the $5 per month level also get access to our Slack channel where you can chat live with us or Hithrock about Trixie any day, anytime.
Oh my God. Highest level content.
There you go. That's the deck name. Highest level content. If you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel linked in the sidebar, and please make sure to subscribe so we can have a channel URL that makes some amount of sense. We are very, very close to that subscriber threshold. So, with all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. Go on, Aura.
I can't breathe.
You all right?
No.
Wow. How much did you drink before?
None. Oh,
There's your problem.
yeah, there's my problem, I think. Go get my cider.
We are, as always, Commentary is Magic. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big cheese.
And our cat.
Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody.
Happy Hearthwarming.
Bye.
I regret nothing.